So before you start watching, I need to put a warning up. Some of the drawings do include images of things like, well, harm. A lot of it. And it's because I was going through a rough patch when I was younger, and the only way to get out those emotions was to draw them, and sometimes drawing the characters doing those things to themselves made me not want to do it to myself. And art could be a very good place of therapy for anybody who needs it, and also for anybody who just wants to get their emotions out. I know it doesn't help everybody the same way, but it definitely helped me, so know that there's always an option. So again, some images may be graphic, and it might not seem like that, or it might look silly because it's drawn by a 14-year-old and without a lot of skill, but some people might not like that, and some people may be put in a weird place after seeing it. So I really just want to warn, basically trigger warn, anybody who's watching that there might be some images that might put you in a weird place. Hi, Future Ward here. I saw that there were some words that I had written down within these sketchbooks as well, that these words are not okay to use anymore. At that time, we didn't think that they would be as harmful as they are today, such as the R word or R slur, some people consider, or just mean words that honestly don't have a place anymore around here. So keep that in mind too, that I was just a kid learning and growing up, and now that I'm older, obviously I see what was right, what was wrong. So just keep that in mind, that we all grow up and we all change the way we think, and things do become different over time, and we learn what was wrong. So please keep that in mind while watching this. Thanks. Now, on to the video. These were my sketchbooks from freshman year of high school. Like I said, some images are a little bit more on the graphic side. I don't think there are too many in this book. I think later on I do draw more things like that, so if I do videos like this again in the future, I will definitely be putting another warning up. I always started off with something simple on the first page, and then from there I do things like this, where again the character would inflict harm, and then I would write words that which I felt like. I would say worthless, no one cares, things like that, because that's how I would feel. So I would get that out in that manner. I remember we were really big into Toho Anime Project as a friend group, so I drew Cerno. This is probably still one of my favorite chibis of, like, well, I called it a chibi, but like that was like my version of it. He's dressed like a bum though. All these characters are just like bums. So here's another like OC I did off the top of my head. My style was always inconsistent, just like it is now. So it just might be my mood that day, where characters that I come up with look just completely different from each other. Like the last three were all OCs, and they were drawn within a few days of each other. But again, yeah, they look way different. This is Helsing. Alucard, there we go. Alucard from Helsing. Oh, here's this drawing that I did that I actually redid. I'm going to put it up on the screen over here. I really like the redrawn version. It's much more modern and makes more sense. The outfits back then that I would draw were very messy, and they weren't that great. I'm going to just be real. Here's this drawing, which I drew his hands backwards, and I redid this drawing too. Here you go. Again, much more modern, looks super cool. I just really like how I took the old drawings and made them into new ones. Again, more characters that I would just draw off the top of my head. My clothing designs, I don't know what was going on with me, but it was so bad. Oh, this is Ultimo, because Stan Lee had just come out with his manga Ultimo, and me and my friend were like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. So I decided to draw Ultimo, and yeah, from there I was like, this is awesome. I really liked it. I should continue reading it if it's even got more chapters. This one is from Tagami Bachi, I'm pretty sure. She was one of the characters within there. I don't remember her name, anything about her, but I remember she was a cool character. Oh, Bleach was like super big at this time, and I really tried getting into it, but I couldn't. So I thought if I drew the characters, it would make me even more into it, but it did not. Soul Eater, because that was one of my like staple things to watch and draw at that time, and it really like helped push the boundary of how I drew and kind of shaped the style that I do today. Here's the Gray Man. That hand looks horrible. I remember my friend even making fun of the hand too. Oh man, that was so bad. Well, I like the face, but that's basically it. Sebastian was pretty easy to draw, actually. He was just mostly all black and then some, like, little design, like, characteristics for detail. Another OC that I have over here. Again, these outfits. Why did I put a vest on everything? Why were all the shirts having holes? Why all this stuff? Oh, here's another thing that I used to do a lot. I used to draw a lot of cat boys and a lot of bunny boys. So you're going to see a lot of those within the book. I really actually like this design. I might do that again. Oh, here's another Nicky from like one of his earlier renditions. I really like the way he came out here. Why is his head so big? Ask Ward at 14. I was really bad with like any kind of proportional sizes, but I'd really tried. I could see that I tried really hard there. And here with this gesture, I really like him. It was, I think, the first time I put a whole body within a drawing, trying to make it make sense, even though it realistically doesn't, but I still thought it looked cool at the time. Here I have a drawing of, again, Ichigo, and I tried really hard on the shading, because I remember we did Secret Santa, and I had gotten a gift from the Secret Santa in my classroom with shading pencils, and I loved them so much, so I was like, okay, I have to use them. So I then tried to shade as much as I could with a bunch of different characters, and from a bunch of different drawings that I had seen, just to practice how it would go. Sometimes it went well, sometimes not so much. Again, here's another image of something along the lines of harm, and it was a way to get, again, the feelings out, and it was the best way that I could think of doing it at the time. I think it was well drawn, though, at least. Oh, I remember this, I was, like, drawing something from Death Note, and then I changed it up because it didn't look like the character at all, and I was like, screw it, I'll just make my own. It seems like I was extremely inspired by, like, scene and emo phases at that time, even though I could not dress like that because it was not allowed. This is the first time I put two people in a drawing, and I was super proud of that, and I thought it was cute because I was trying to practice couples as well at that time, and I think it didn't come out too bad at that time. This is from the Alice in Wonderland manga series. There was a bunch of different ones. I don't even remember the name completely. I just remember seeing this cover and I was like, I think I could draw this because I just could try hard enough. Here at the time I was trying to draw more well, in the text over there it says yaoi relationships are innocent yaoi, because when you read stuff like that at a young age, it really like corrupts your mind and tells you that it can't be innocent, but really it's just over-sexualized. In all reality, it's just, you know, gay love, and that's perfectly fine. Yaoi, not so much. Sometimes it can be very hurtful from the stigma. Here is probably one of the only girls that I've drawn in this book. Maybe a few more, I can't remember, but I tried really hard. And this was on Valentine's Day, so I made her, or I tried to make her look really pretty. Even back then, I would draw a lot of guys. That's what I'm noticing. Here's Kanda, again from D. Gray Man. I think he actually came out pretty nice. Even like to today's standard, I'd like to say he came out pretty good. I did follow the shading directly from the manga, of course, because I was still practicing and just trying to draw how other artists drew, which I still like doing today. Another D. Gray Man drawing, which I wish I would have shaded at that time. I think it should have been shaded in. I don't know why I didn't. This is Hattori from Fruits Basket. I remember I had a huge crush on him, and I really liked him, so that's why I drew him. Here's another bunny boy, which I was like, hold on, I really like this, and I might actually do a redraw of this character because he looks super cute, and I really like everything about him here, and it doesn't look overly weird with the style either. And then we come to something like this, which is like, what is this? I always ended a sketchbook on like a weaker note, so the next sketchbook, when I open it up, I would be like, oh look, I've improved so much. And then I used to write on the back of the sketchbook to like a artist note / a fan note. I'm totally not reading that because I cringe really hard every time I look at those old notes. If you'd like to pause and read it, go right ahead. Me, however, no thank you. Here we come to the second sketchbook of that year. I always tried to fit 2 in one school year. We start off with Alan from D. Gray Man, which I ended up really liking how this came out. Sadly, it did smudge over time because I didn't know any idea of like fixative to help keep the drawing still and not move around like that and smudge around. Here again, some kind of graphic image of basically a girl being stabbed to death, which is not nice. Again, hard times, and the only way to get out a lot of that kind of emotion was through art, and to a degree I'm glad I did it, but to a degree I'm like, ow, that is painful to look back on sometimes. Here's Sora, because Kingdom Hearts was and probably still is one of my favorite video games of all time. I really like how within this book right off the bat, I could tell that my drawing skills had increased significantly, and I wasn't afraid to try more things, even though sometimes they came out bad. Like here, L, he only has fingers and a thumb. Usually, you know, you have a palm with your hand attached, but I guess he doesn't, so there it is. Death Note art was always super hard for me to draw and recreate, by the way, so after a while I was like, I just can't do this. I should totally stop because I'm bad at it. Here is Dr. Stein from Soul Eater, and he came out super awesome. Like, to this day, like, when I think about all the drawings I'm proud of, this is one of them, because he was on the cover of, I think, volume 3 or 2, and I drew it and it came out awesome. In this book, I'm finally starting to, like, mess around with color. I'm not as afraid of it anymore, or at least I'm trying to practice, because I realize that I can't not practice something and think that I'm bad at it. Here's another bunny boy, which looks kind of similar to some other one that I've seen. I think they all had the same kind of look. Here was my attempt at chibis, and I put in the little words right there, it's so Korean, and I put that because at that time I was reading a lot of Korean manga, and their art style was significantly different from the, like, manhwa back then was different than the manga art style, completely different thing. Here's finally another girl, so we've seen 2 girls in total from the last 2 sketchbooks. Here's a couple. Again, I tried expanding more and, like, drawing other things back then. I wasn't as afraid to experiment, because when you don't have a definite style or thing set up, you're more likely to just explore the world that you're creating in. Here's a character slash OC that I just drew off the top of my head. I thought he came out really cool, and he's kind of giving me, like, Snake vibes, kind of. Oh, here's Boris again from that Alice in Wonderland comic book, and... But no, not comic book, manga. Oh my god. Sorry, my head has been in comic books lately because I've been in the whole DC universe and going through all that, so there's that. This drawing, I distinctively remember laughing at with my friends, because we were like, why is he dressed so bummy? His clothes are tattered, ripped. His face is pretty for what, but, like, I had the pose and I was like, I'm so happy, but I can't draw. Oh my god, this is one of the drawings that I truly thought was a success, because I had tried so hard to draw like the Vampire Knight style, and it was so hard, and I finally did one like this, which came out awesome, and I was like, yo, I finally did it. I conquered the style that I could not do, and I was so happy when I did it. At this time, I was able to get a How to Draw Shoujo manga book, and I didn't know how to learn how to draw. You get me? I just kind of drew what I saw. So I drew what I saw in that book, which is this guy reading a book in there, and then this girl, which was like a step-by-step how to do this drawing, so I remember doing that as well. I'm glad I've learned how to, like, draw over the years, like, actually draw, not just see and then, like, print it out with my hand, basically. I really like this drawing of this girl. I actually might redraw her because she's super cute, and I like the whole, like, concept of, like, a dark kind of girl, but very happy. Here's another character with, again, my regular OC style that had no style. It was weird. Why does he have suspenders but his pants are so low? Good question. I don't know. I tried to also experiment more with backgrounds back then, even though I wasn't very good, and I should honestly still practice now with backgrounds, but sadly being a perfectionist always gets in the way, and I want to try and get rid of that whole idea that it has to look good, when instead I should get with the idea that it has to be better. Here's this drawing that I actually really like. I was looking at it and I was like, man, if I recreated this, I don't think I could recreate something like this because of I'd like to almost say pure emotion that was put into this and how crazy it looks. I really like it. This is one of my more favorite drawings that I've recently discovered over time. Here I tried realism, and I just want to say a moment of silence because, wow, this is bad. It's like really bad. But it didn't stop me from trying. I think I tried again with the realism. Here, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just sorry. Like, even back then, I knew it was a bad drawing. And, like, looking at it now, I still know it's a bad drawing. Here we go. I tried. Oh, wow. There are some words on there that at that time we thought were okay. I just saw that right now. We now know that those words aren't okay. We grow up, we learn. That's just how it goes. Here's another character. I don't know where I got him from. He might have been inspired from Soul Eater. And I can kind of feel that along the lines here. Here is, I think I tried to draw Marilyn Monroe. And I tried really hard. And I thought this actually didn't come out too bad. And even looking at it now, I don't think it came out too bad. But obviously, it was just super hard to capture realism. That's why I was like, what's the point of me even trying if I'm not good at it? Which is a bad way to look at things. Again, we have Sebastian here. And I think he looks better than the last Sebastian as well. I could tell that there's a lot more flavor here. I guess that's the only way to say it. It's just he just looks more enticing compared to the last picture, which wasn't bad, but again, I feel like just looks so much better. Here, I was reading Pandora Hearts, and this was on the back of one of the volumes, and I was like, man, this looks so cool. So I decided to draw it myself, and there you go. Here, again, trying to experiment with the idea of couples and all that stuff. And I don't think it came out too bad, but again, this was, I think, what I could do for the time because my skill level wasn't that great. The idea and the concept cute, however, you know, it's just how it is. Here we go with another OC. I really liked him back then. I really like him now because he looks so weird and like just very like he's staring into your soul. I kind of like that. Here's Raiden from the Metal Gear Solid series. I tried super hard with the shading and I just knew it wasn't gonna come out as good as I wanted it to, but I tried anyway. Oh, this is my friend's OC. His name is there, so that's just what I just gotta live with that. His name is there. But I really like how I came out of my rendition of his OC. That was the first time I drew somebody else's OC as well. I hate this drawing till today. I wrote I like there, but like now I don't like. No thank you. Next, please. Turn the page. Thank you. Okay, this is my this was my niece. I tried again drawing some realism. I didn't do any shading here, which was weird because I went from really heavy shading to like almost no shading, so I wonder what happened in the thought process there. Again, couples, I'm just trying to figure out how to draw, especially like online at that time. It was like everywhere drawing like cute couples, and I was like, okay, I gotta get on this trend. I gotta figure out how to do this. Not bad, however, proportions really off, and just I don't think so. This is another image where again, taking out my anger on something, so I decided to do a ragdoll, and, you know, the pins would be punctured into him and he would bleed. So, again, that's just how it was at that time. There was literally no other way to describe how I would feel, so I would have to put it down on paper. Here, I think I drew these two with Sharpie markers, and I think I just went straight in with Sharpies. No, I might have sketched it first and then went over with Sharpie, so there's also that. Here's like a really close up drawing of some dude's face, and that I mean, like, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't, but like it's not that good either. All right, here's again the whole art note thing that I will not read because I don't want to cringe right now. Thank you. And in the back of the book, it looks like I drew a ginger, which at that time, that ginger meme was like super big, so there's also that. And yeah, that's basically my entire freshman year. Maybe in a few months I'll do the sophomore year and then so on. But thanks for watching, and remember, I love you. Bye.